I now give the floor to the delegation of Kuwait.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Gracias, señor presidente. Y permíteme en primer lugar.
Thank you, Mr. President, and allow me to begin by thank you for convening this meeting and congratulate you and your country on assuming the presidency of the Security Council.
سيد الرئيس أتشرف بإلقاء هذا البيان نيابة عن
Mr. President, I'm honored to deliver this statement on behalf of the member states of the Gulf Cooperation Council. The United Arab Emirates, the Kingdom of Bahrain, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the State of Qatar, the Sultanate of Oman, and my own country, the State of Kuwait. We would like to thank Mr. Miroslav Jenča, Assistant Secretary General for Political Affairs, and Mr. Ramesh Rajasingham, Head and Representative of the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs in Geneva, OCHA, for the valuable briefings. Mr. President, we reaffirm our firm, unchanged principled position in support of the Palestinian cause and our rejection of all forms of occupation and settlement. We express our deep concern and our strong denunciation of the dangerous decision announced by the Israeli government to invade the Gaza Strip and impose full control over it, which is a direct threat to the lives of more than 2 million Palestinians, most of them women and children. And this lays the groundwork for a new stage of genocide and forced displacement, and undermines any chance of achieving a two-state solution. It's also a flagrant violation of international law and the United Nations Charter. Any comprehensive invasion of the Gaza Strip will not just impact the Palestinian people, but will also affect the entire region, leading to an unprecedented spiral of violence and explosion, and Israel will bear full responsibility for it, and the international community will have to answer for silence or failure to prevent it. Mr. President, the international community, headed by the Security Council, must assume its legal, moral, and historic responsibilities. The scenes of genocide are being repeated before the eyes of the Council without any action being taken. This is a failure of the international community, which threatens to undermine the role and credibility of the Council, particularly in this matter. It is a destructive message to the population when international laws are applied selectively. Mr. President, urgent and binding measures must be taken under Chapter 7 of the UN Charter in order to stop this brutal aggression, guarantee international protection for the Palestinian people, and ensure the safe delivery of humanitarian, medical, and relief assistance. And we must also support UNRWA and reject any attempts to undermine its role. In this regard, we value the great efforts undertaken by the State of Qatar and the Arab Republic of Egypt in coordination with the United States of America to achieve a comprehensive and immediate ceasefire to halt the aggression, protect civilians, an agreement that would also ensure the exchange of prisoners and detainees, and which would create the ideal conditions for the return of displaced persons to their homes and facilitate the safe and unimpeded entry of humanitarian aid. The Gulf Cooperation Council states support these efforts, and we want to strengthen them through coordination with the relevant regional and international parties in a way that breaks the cycle of violence and revives a serious political process that meets the legitimate aspirations of the Palestinian people. Mr. President, We all witnessed just a short time ago the convening of the high-level international conference for the peaceful settlement of the Palestinian question and the implementation of the two-state solution, co-chaired by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the French Republic. The conference embodied the will of the international community to relaunch a serious political process towards the establishment of an independent Palestinian state on the borders of the 4th of June 1967, with East Jerusalem as its capital. In this regard, we welcome the recognition by a number of friendly states of the State of Palestine. However, Israel, the occupying power, continues its unilateral policies in violation of international law, defying the will of the international community and working against the commitments and efforts that were made during that conference. We condemn the continued Israeli violations in Jerusalem and the West Bank, including colonial settler expansion and the expulsion and displacement of residents and repeated incursions of holy Islamic and Christian places in order to change the historic legal situation. Any attempt to impose a new colonial reality in Gaza or in the West Bank fully undermines the basis for a two-state solution and turns this international commitment into a political mirage. We warn against the continuation of these policies, which will only further worsen the cycle of violence. Mr. President, the GCC reaffirms that the only path to achieving security and peace in the region is to end the Israeli occupation of the Palestinian and Arab territories and to move towards the independence of a fully sovereign state of Palestine, but also to guarantee, in doing that, guaranteeing the inalienable rights of the Palestinian people, the right to self-determination, return, and to live in dignity on their land, in accordance with relevant Security Council resolutions, in particular resolutions 242, 338, 497, 1515, and 2334. And we must also implement the advisory opinion issued by the International Court of Justice of the 19th of July 2024. In conclusion, and from this podium, our message is clear. Israel's impunity is no longer acceptable, and the ongoing aggression against Gaza is a real test of the credibility of the international system and its ability to protect people's peace and international peace and security. I thank you.